Hi guys, my name is Tammy and this is The Rusted Willow, and today I have a compilation video for you of all the Valentine's or DIYs that I have done the last year. Let's get into DIY number one. So the goal here is to find something that inspired you to make your craft and to make it for less. So I found a coffee filter wreath online that I thought was pretty, but I thought I could make it prettier and I wanted it for Valentine's Day. I got some coffee filters and I dyed them with food coloring. The longer I left them in, the darker they got. And then I just laid them out and let them dry. I actually put them in the microwave for 30 seconds and they dried just fine. The white ones and the brown ones, I did not get wet. Sometimes people get them wet and let them dry flat, but I didn't do that. I just took them straight out the pack and folded them and glued them on the wreath form. Now I couldn't decide if I wanted the smaller wreath form or the bigger wreath form. I ended up using the bigger wreath form from Walmart, and I believe it was $2 or $3. The smaller wreath form from Dollar Tree, I just didn't think was big enough. I wanted it to be big and full. The first thing I'm going to do is put on the hanger. I wanted the hanger hidden underneath. I didn't want it to be on top of the filter, the coffee filters. I wanted it to be hidden. So I put that on first with some white satin ribbon, and I just tied it in a knot, and then I tied it in place. And that was all there was to it. You could even glue it. I think I might have glued it a little bit, but I don't. Yeah, I did. I glued it just a little bit. It's not really necessary. It would have stayed in place either way, but I wanted to glue the knots down. So that's how I made the hanger, super simple. And then I took some coffee filters and I crunched them up because that makes them come apart a little bit easier. And all I'm going to do is cover the back of this wreath form because I want it to have a very finished look. And I didn't want any of the green showing through, which I could have painted that, but I just used coffee filters. It's fine. Then I took my pink coffee filters and I folded them in quarters. So I folded them in half and then I folded them again. And then I just put a little bit of hot glue, tiny bit of hot glue down in the corner. Now I did this on some of them, but I didn't do them on I didn't do that on all of them. I don't think it's necessary. And I thought this would be an easier way to do the wreath, but honestly, I think it would have been easier to just put dots of hot glue, stick the coffee filter on the end of a pencil, and stick it to the wreath. I think that would have been a whole lot simpler, and then I wouldn't had to have went back and fluffed it after I glued on all the coffee filters. And here I'm showing you, I glued a section of coffee filters down, and then I just pulled them apart and started fluffing. And I just pulled them apart and they fluffed out perfectly. This is my first time for making a coffee filter wreath, and I think it turned out pretty fantastic. I liked the variation of the color, the pink, the white, and the brown, and that's what it looks like before you fluff everything. They just kind of lay out, and I glued mine together pretty closely, so it's gonna be really stinking full and it looks amazing. And that's what it looks like on the back side, so you can see how full it is. I went back in a couple places where I thought needed an extra coffee filter or two, and I just added a few just to finish it off and add some color, because I didn't want it to be solid pink or solid brown. I just wanted the brown coffee filters, the natural color, which I could have tea stained them or coffee stained them to get the same look, but I just bought them. So I maybe have $5 in this coffee filter wreath, if that. And here I am, I'm just going back through, pulling them apart and fluffing them. And I took a sign from the Dollar Tree the metal sign off of one of their, I think it was on a heart, I'm not sure. And I took some lights from the Dollar Tree, so I'm probably up to $6 now with the wreath, the 2 different colors of coffee filters, and the lights and the metal sign. Probably up to $6, yes. It's just very, very time consuming. So I suggest get a drink, put on a movie, and either get your glue gun out and stick them on with a pencil, eraser top or pencil top or whatever, so that it has a flat end, or you can fold them in quarters like I did and glue them on. Folding takes a long time. I sat and watched a couple episodes of a show on Netflix and folded coffee filters. But now that after I did that, I thought, you know, why am I folding these coffee filters when I could have just stuck them on and been done with it? So, and then I wouldn't have had to went back and fluff. It's whatever you want to do. And I put these lights on my coffee filter wreath, and one light, of course, worked when I put them on. They all worked, and then I turned it over and it didn't work anymore. So I don't know if it's got a short in it or what, but we fix it. No big deal. Those are pink heart lights, by the way. They're just super bright. And that's how it looks on my door. On to DIY number 2. So this is just something I saw on Pinterest, something simple. I love this sign because it says love you more, and I used to tell my kids that when they were babies. They would say I love you, and I would say I love you, and they would say back to me I love you more, or vice versa. So I just wanted to dress it up a little bit. I really like the sign. I just thought it was a little too plain. It was more country than chic. So I took a Dollar Tree sign and I took off the red and white XOXO and the red and white polka dot hearts. I took off the yellowed buttons and put on white buttons. Just some simple updates makes a world of difference. And instead of the raffia bows, I changed those to jute bows. And I think it dressed it up so much better. So this was a super simple makeover. It took about 5 minutes and it looks amazing. I hope you like it. So let me know down below in the comments which project was your favorite. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment and let me know where you're stopping by from if it's your first time. And if you're returning, don't forget to say hi. We are going to be taking it outside, ladies, and we're going to use the table saw today. We just got a brand new one and I was so excited to use it. My husband thinks it's his, but honestly, it's mine. I'm calling dibs. All right, so I have previously measured out my signs and marked where I need to cut them. I am just taking off all of the hangers and I am using up my stash. Do you see that, guys? All those Dollar Tree signs I'm going to be cutting up into strips, and we are going to be making some Shiplap signs. So I just measured my board and I have already marked everywhere that I need to cut these boards, and so then I just need to adjust my table accordingly and slide the board through. Make sure you keep your hands out of the way, turn it off every time you're done making a cut, and use your little plastic tool. Use it and don't get your fingers next to the blade, otherwise you're going to lose a few. All right, now here I am. I'm going to be using up some of my frame stash. Now, if you've seen any of my craft room organization videos, you know I have an issue with, well, probably just about everything, because I'm a craft supply hoarder. I admit it, I'm a craft supply hoarder, okay? What are you going to do? Anyway, I have these frames. I'm going to use them up. I'm using up my Dollar Tree signs. So my goal this year is to eliminate a lot of my hoard, okay? And I'm getting off to a great start. So here we go. All right, so I cut these down into strips to make them look like shiplap. I painted them white. I painted the frame white. And I'm going to do some Valentine's DIYs. This one is so high-end. It is beautiful, and it is super simple. I hope you love it. So I'm just dry fitting these pieces just to make sure that they fit, and then I go ahead and hot glue them in. Now, if I want to reuse this frame later, I can. I just need to pop them out. No big deal. So then I am taking my black paint and I'm just watering it down just a little bit. I'm taking a fat brush, a straight brush, and I am making my chiseled edge. I'm making sure that I have a good straight edge. And here we go. I have always wanted to make one of these, and there's a dog hair in my paint. I've always wanted to make one of these signs, nice and simple, black and white. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, and I love it. I think it looks so high-end in this beautiful frame, and the shiplap boards with it, and then I go around the frame and just dust it with the rest of the paint that's on my paintbrush, and I love the black and white. And then I thought, I'm gonna put some pink on there. Well, then I messed it up, so then I went over it again with the white because I didn't like the way the pink looked, and then it turned out gray. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go back over the detail with some black paint because I just love the way that looks. It looked really pretty with the pink on there as well, but here I'm showing you how the gray looks. It's very subtle, but still very shabby chic, and I think so high-end and so simple to make. I want to thank you for stopping by. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing if you have not already. And I hope you enjoy this video. All right, guys, let's get back to it. All right, let's get back into these DIYs. Number 2. Okay, so this one, I just cut it down to the size of the frame. I am painting this with that beautiful blush color, Summer Night. Now, if you have watched any of my videos for Christmas or my last couple of videos, I have used this same color because it is so pretty. I got this frame for $4 on clearance at Hobby Lobby. $4, guys. Nothing wrong with it. It is absolutely gorgeous. It still has the hangers. They're covered with the cardboard. And I actually do go back over the backs of these pictures with brown contact paper. I don't show it here because it takes too much time. But anyway, I do go over them and finish the backs with brown contact paper. Now, this beautiful rusty metal heart, I have no idea where I picked it up, but it's been in my stash for a long time, and I am just tightening up that, what's it called, drop cloth hanger, and I am using this push pin that we got from the Findery. Yes, it's called the Findery in Waco, and I'm putting it in the center of this picture. I bought 2 of them. They were $2 a piece, and they were supposed to be antique push pins. Now, I don't know if they were antique inspired or real antique push pins, but I love them. $2 a piece. I only bought 2, and I'm going to use it for this sign. I love this. This is totally my style. I love it. Now, my only dilemma is the rusty side or the not rusty side. So you tell me which side you like better. So this inspiration came from, I believe, Home Goods. This is where I saw that Rae Dunn pillow. If you didn't recognize it, I believe it was $24.99, and I'm gonna make it for free because I already had drop cloth on hand. This is how I'm making my slipcover pillow. I basically just measured out the size of my pillow. If it was 24 by 24, I did 24 by 24. And I did a 1/2 inch seam allowance on either side, and I had plenty of material left over for the pillow to fit in perfectly. So I just did a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and to make these pillows, it is super simple. You just measure your pillow out, whatever size it is. That's how wide you want to make your fabric, but then you want to add about 10 inches to one side or the other. The side you're going to fold, which I can do a better tutorial on how to make these slipcover pillows. If you'd like to see that, please put that in the comments down below, because I can definitely do that. And I did not cut the finished edge off of the drop cloth because I just used it as a seam allowance. No big deal. However, I did go back and backstitch over where the two pieces of material cross over, if that makes sense, because they overlap to make the actual slip cover pillow cover. Slip cover, pillow cover. So here you see me putting it on. It's like a pocket pillow cover. I don't know what they call it, but anyway, it's super easy to make. And I'm not a seamstress, guys. I haven't sewn since high school, so over 30 years. And I just started sewing again when the pandemic hit and we had to make masks for everyone. So if you haven't subscribed, if you would please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, hit that like button and ring that little bell for notifications. I wanted to make this pillow like the Rae Dunn inspiration because I love Rae Dunn. I just used a heart form that you can get at the Dollar Tree and traced around it on my drop cloth fabric. Cut that out. Super simple, guys. Anybody can do this. And if you don't have a sewing machine, you can make this with hot glue. It will hold together. They have fabric hot glue now. So you can easily make yourself a pillow cover with hot glue. I got my drop cloth from Harbor Freight. So what I'm gonna do to get that black and white stitching around the edge is I have black yarn from Dollar Tree. So basically my fabric I already had on hand, but if you're gonna go get it, let's just call it 10 bucks for a big old piece of drop cloth. Your yarn is $1, so we're in it for maybe $11 for this pillow. And I'm just stitching up and down, up and down. It's just a regular straight stitch. You can get you a big sewing needle, no problem. Anyway, I sewed all the way around, just a straight stitch, about a 1/2 inch in, and it was starting to unravel pretty good, so you'll see that around the edges. And I just make sure that I didn't pull it too tight because I want that heart to lay flat. So I make sure that I get the yarn pretty loosely through there, and then I cut it off. I'm gonna tie a knot, and that little bottle is that little white bottle is no fray, so I put that around the edges because it's starting to fray pretty good. And I know that the Rae Dunn, all of their blankets and stitching, anything that's fabric does unravel. They want it to unravel because I think anyway, I want it to unravel a little bit, but I didn't want it to come undone and then mess up my stitching. And I was gonna hot glue this onto my pillow anyway, so I just went ahead and used that no fray so that it wouldn't fray any more than it already did. I made the stencil with my Cricut, and I paid for the Rae Dunn font on Etsy. So I just made the stencil, I stuck it on, I went over it with, I actually used my paint pen and Sharpie and then it kind of made little fuzzies, so I'm picking those off there. And then I'm just going back and cleaning up the edges with my Sharpie, and that's how the love sign looks. So now I'm just gonna put it on the front of my drop cloth pillow, and I just hot glue it all around. I don't hot glue it over the stitching, I do it right behind the stitching so that it sticks off the pillow a little bit like the inspiration piece. I love, love, love it. And there it is on my couch. Don't it look awesome? Yes! It don't get any better than that, guys. I would love it if you would connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, or subscribe to my channel. Also going to be super simple. I picked these up at the Dollar Tree and I wanted a table runner for Valentine's Day. I've seen this on Pinterest. Lots of YouTubers have made these. And I wanted to make one for my table. You can just lay them out or you can glue them together. I decided that I wanted mine glued together, but I go through the process of laying them out different ways to see how I want them laid out. And I love that they have glitter on both sides, so it really doesn't matter how you glue them together. You're gonna get the same effect whether you have them on one side or the other. The designs weren't completely cut out all the way, so I had to take out the middle part of the felt. But you see me here, I'm just rearranging these in different ways, and I like the way it looks, but I'm just gonna go with straight, and we're just gonna glue it down with a little bit of glue. And it only took 4 for my table. I did buy, and after I get them glued together, I just flip it over, and I'm going to set my table. Now this mirror is concrete around the edge. I went thrifting at my sister's house. And anyway, I picked up this mirror at her house. I bought the scatter from Dollar Tree, which I love. The pink is so pretty. And I put some remote control lights on there, and that's all. So this is a vase planter glass container. I picked it up at a thrift store for $1. I decorated it for Christmas, and now I'm just going to redo it for Valentine's Day. It has the sheet moss around it and then a square of floral foam. And I kind of craft by the seat of my pants. I don't usually have a plan. I just know I have an idea in my head or a vision that I want to recreate. And so when I do flower arrangements, I just lay out a bunch of flowers and I just go with the flow. If I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I will take it all out and redo it all and start over. But I knew I wanted to use these beautiful flowers that I got from Joann's, but I wanted to mix and match with some Dollar Tree, and that really didn't happen. So I did get this rose bush from Joann's when it was on clearance, I believe 70 or 80% off at the end of summer. And I also got a sheet of flowers. I don't know if you've ever seen those before, but it was on like a grid, a square grid, and it had peonies and hydrangeas and roses and some baby's breath looking stuff and just different, I don't know, different flowers on this square grid, and I love it. It is so pretty. They're like blush colored roses, kind of pinky blush color, and they don't have stems. I just used my skewer sticks and hot glued it to the back of them so that I could poke them down into the floral foam. And then I lost some of my footage, so I'll just show you pictures, but I just used some eucalyptus and the other greenery that was on the grid and just poked it around in there to add some greenery. And this is what it looked like after I got all the flowers arranged. If you have not yet subscribed, you might consider subscribing to my channel. If you see one of these DIYs that you like, give this video a big thumbs up. I would appreciate it very much. So for this DIY, I went out to the garage and grabbed some spare scrap wood. We recently replaced our stair treads, and that's what these boards are from. They're nice and thick, they stand up on their own. I loved them. I don't know where the footage went of me staining them, but I stained them in the weathered gray stain, and I am just distressing them now with the silver lining gray paint. The stain that I used barely used any stain at all. I wanted the wood grain to show through, so I was very, very light-handed on the stain, and just as light-handed on the distressing. I wanted them to be very farmhouse, very simple. And I also needed some chocolate to get me through the day. So here I am sizing them up for the picture, size of picture that I want. I cut out a scrap piece of 4x6 so that I knew that it would fit on the board. And I don't know where the footage went of me putting the vinyl on, but basically I designed the love and the family, and I just applied the vinyl to the signs. So now I'm going to embellish them with some twine, and this twine I believe is from Walmart. I think I do have my Dollar Tree twine there, but it's not thick enough. I wanted a thicker twine, so I went with the Walmart twine. And I just wrapped it around several times. I didn't count. I just wrapped several times. This board was kind of bowed, and that's okay because the picture still stayed in the twine. I just had to make sure that I got it tight enough. So basically, I started off with a knot. I glued the knot to the back of the board. I wrapped it around several times. I made another knot, and I glued that knot as well so it would not come apart. And there you go. And your picture will set in there, and you have a shelf setter, or you can put it on your desk at work or whatever. So pretty. I love these. I haven't even made them for myself. These were a gift. I have to get busy and make some for myself. I've been wanting these forever, and now other people have them and I don't still. Isn't that the way it goes with crafting? You make everything for everybody else and then you make your stuff last. I don't know. I guess that's with remodeling your house too, maybe. But so I went ahead and made a jute bow. I just wrapped it around my finger several times. Don't forget to stay tuned to the end. I have a free printable for you, and I have another one that is available on Etsy. So hopefully you will like what I have for you. Decided where I wanted to place it, and I placed it on the bottom left hand corner. I just thought that looked so sweet, and that way it didn't get in the way of the picture. They're very versatile, and you can use it with multiple pictures, one picture. Oh, and here is the look after they are completed. I also made some Dollar Tree candles to go with the frame. Here is a free printable for Valentine's Day. It does print out in 16x20, and it is gorgeous. And if you don't like that one, then maybe you'll like the one that I'm offering over on my Etsy. I have all of these wood signs. If you saw my craft room organization video, you would notice my craft hoard. So I am going to be using that up. So I am using some of my wood signs, and I am going to be redoing them. And if you watched my Christmas videos, you saw that my colors were black, white, and blush pink. That is going to be my same colors for Valentine's Day, because I just love that combination. I think it's so pretty. It's just elegant, chic, soft, and pretty, and I like that. The first thing I'm doing is I am covering this wood blank, the sign from Dollar Tree, in chalkboard black paint that I got from Dollar Tree as well. I am going to be applying some decals, some water slide decals that I created on Canva. I will tell you how the process goes a little later, but first I'm showing you my fail. This first project is a big, huge fail. I think it turns out okay in the end, but you will see what mistake I made, first of all. So you see this decal is pretty dark, and I love it, but it's very dark. So I thought I would do a black background. Well, if you notice, the water slide decals come on a white background, which I didn't even think of that. So I should have painted this white or a light color, but not dark. Because when you put it on here, just wait for it. Wait for it. And these big decals, they're kind of difficult to work with, honestly, but I'm no quitter. So I'm gonna go for it. And I didn't even think about it. And I take it off and it's disappearing. And I'm like, what is going on? Well, it's dark. It'll show up. No. And I still keep going. And then I'm like, well, maybe I should put that paper back under there. Yeah, I'm not getting it quite yet. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm acting like a first-time crafter here. So then I decide, okay, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to try to center it. But can you see the design? No. And I continue to, I'm no quitter, guys. When it comes to crafting, I'm not a quitter. I keep going. So I take it off and I'm like, well, that was dumb. You can't even see it. I need a lighter background. So I went ahead, painted it white. Did I wait for it to dry? Nah. Why wait? It's okay. The water slide's wet anyway, so why not just go ahead and stick it on there, right? It's no big deal, except for you need water to move your water slide sticker around. But I didn't want to wait for my paint to dry and then have my water slide dry out, because it dries out pretty darn quickly. But in the end, it all turns out, it smudges a little bit here and there, but that's okay. I have a fix for that in the whole video. So this is actually DIY number 2, 3, and 4. And I am doing some more signs that are in my hoard. And these came from Hobby Lobby, and they were like 90% off. So I don't know, 90 cents, $1.24. I don't even know how much they were. They were super cheap, 94 cents, something like that. But they came, I didn't buy them this year. I bought them last year. Actually, I think my sister bought some of these. I bought some, she bought some, then she brought me hers, and so forth. Anyway, that's how that goes. And I just paint all 4 sides of those signs black with the black chalkboard paint. And then I move on to this other sign, which I love, also from Hobby Lobby. And I want to keep the front intact. So I'm painting the back and the sides in this blush colored paint. And this is from Lowe's, and it's my Oops paint. It's $1.50 for this. And the paint is called Summer Night. It is satin finish, Valspar color, Summer Night. I will put that down below in my description box for you. And then I just mix it with some white chalk paint because I like that, ombre kind of brush. I don't know, you can see the brush strokes, paint mixture, but I wanted it to be soft. Here I am, I'm showing you the Hippo water slide package because that's what I'm using. You want to print this out on your printer, and I just designed everything in Canva, and then I put it on a Word document or printed it out, and then I sprayed it 3 times with matte clear sealer, and I let it dry really well in between, and I actually let it sit overnight because I didn't have time to work on it that night. And then I cut around the decals the next day. Now, a little tip for this, I used warm water, and I also cut as close to the design as I could get without compromising my design and still leaving me a little bit of room to slide the decal off. Now in this one, I went ahead and took the decal off the paper because I wanted to make sure that I did get it center. And I did design this on Canva myself, so I will try to figure out how to link that below as a free printable, but I'm just not sure how to do that out of Canva, but I will try. Anyway, so you wet your fingers and you smooth it out, and then I use a paper towel. Yeah, don't use a towel because it has lint on it, and I do get lint on this, but I get it off, so it's okay. Anyway, you see my paper towel sitting there. Use a paper towel to dry your project. And I'm gonna have some fun free printables coming up, so you will be able to find those in those videos and on my Etsy store. Let's get back into these DIYs really quickly. All right, now these are for my tiered tray. I love, love, love this heart with the scribble, and it goes so pretty on that blush color. So like I said, my colors are black, white, and blush, and I love this. I'm loving this. Now this sign is going to be double-sided, and so I am just, see how easy that was? I cut around my design, I slid it on there, got it in the center, done. Done, done, and done. Beautiful, love it. And now I'm going to do the back side. So the back side, I kind of painted it. I didn't show you the painting because y'all know how to paint. But I painted it with white, and then I mixed some of the black in there, so it created like a grayish ombre effect. And I love how it looks. Oh my goodness. And this just says Happy Valentine's Day. And I can't remember the font that I used in Canva, but they have so many fonts. I actually have a subscription to Canva, but you can also use it for free. Okay guys, so you know I have all these books that I cut down to make tiny books, and I like redoing them for every season. So I am just going to show you how I transform these 3 books into 3 precious little Shabby Chic Valentine's Day books that you can set out for Valentine's Day or put in a little girl's room or use on your tiered trays, however you just want to use them. They would be perfect for Easter as well. They are so cute. And I am using 2 colors from Lowe's. One is my Summer Night, because you know I love that color pink. It is a perfect blush pink. I am using another color from Lowe's called Baby Blush, and then I use the ballet slipper from Plaid chalk paint. And now I am just going to embellish these sweet little books into the most beautiful little shelf sitters, if I can even say that word, shelf sitters you've ever seen. I use these little, bling stickers. I don't know what they're called, but they're from Dollar Tree. I have had them in my stash forever. So none of this stuff I had to go and buy. I had everything on hand. Imagine that. If you've seen my craft room reorganization video, you already know that I don't need a thing. So I just pulled out all my little blingy stickers and I just started going to town. So I only used 1 strip for those. The books were free. So the stickers were $1. I only used not even 1 strip. So that's 50 cents for those 2 books already. And I am doing 3 books in this first DIY. All of the projects that I make today are going to go together. They will coordinate. That's the word. All of my projects today are going to coordinate and they are going to go together. So here I'm just adding some ribbon. And on this one I added some ribbon. and I must have cut too much footage out, but I just added ribbon around the cover of the book, and now I'm adding a transfer from Dollar Tree. And I just use my Dollar Tree spatula, my Cricut tool, which is not a Cricut tool, it's from Dollar Tree. And I just use the back of that to burnish it down, and it goes right over the ribbon and everything, and it sticks perfectly. And then I cut out another little transfer that says love with a little flower, and I add that to the corner. I think that looks so sweet. And now I'm just making a little shoelace bow for the next book. And I'm going to be adding one of these wooden roses. I think these cutouts are so pretty. So, I mean, literally these 3 little books cost me pennies to make. The most expensive thing on there was the jewels that I added to the spines. And I found that a regular Sharpie, the regular Sharpie, gives the best red color on these little wooden cutouts, laser cutouts. And look how beautiful that red rose is. Oh my goodness, seriously, I love it. And then I'm going to add that sweet little bow. I need to clean up my desk between projects. I had no idea it looked like that. I get so busy crafting that I just keep going. I am painting these beautiful little birds up, and one is going to be in Summer Nights. I use the ballet slipper. Okay, I forgot which color I used. So I used the ballet slipper on the other little bird, and they're so close together in color, like they're just a shade apart. You really can't tell. I mean, it's crazy. So you can tell which one is darker, but see right there, you can tell they're just a few shades, maybe a shade darker. So, and then I add a beautiful little jewel that I cut off of a necklace that I got from Goodwill for $1.49. I found this necklace that was all flowers with white little jewels and a little diamond in the middle, and I add that for the eyes. Super simple. Oh my gosh, guys. So if you don't watch Michelle from Moxie DIY and Java, I saw her do this love sign, and she bejeweled it and made it gorgeous. Now mine's not going to look exactly like hers, but I did get the idea from her. So I will also have her channel linked below, and you can go visit her channel. So if you have not visited Michelle from Moxie DIY and Java, you need to, because she is so creative as well. I mean, all these ladies are just amazing. Okay, so I start by making a line, and then I'm going to cut the jewels out where the voids are in the wood. And then some of them I just fold over into the inside because it's easier, and some of them I just cut off. These are super sticky, so they stick really well. And I painted this love sign in the Summer Night, or I don't think it has an S, it's just Summer Night. I don't know why I keep saying that wrong. And so I just add jewels here and there. So now you know the love sign cost $1 from Dollar Tree. I had all these bejewels on hand, but I don't think I used but maybe a couple strips out of each. So we're just gonna call it $2 for the jewels. And so this little love sign cost me maybe $3. Plus I bought a necklace from the Goodwill for $1.50, and I used it on the birds, and I also used it on this love sign, and I used the most on this one. So we'll add that to this. So we'll say we're at $4.50, or we can just round it to $5, whatever. So we'll just say this sign cost me $5. I know it didn't, but that's okay. But when I get done with this little beauty, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So now this one is geared more towards Valentine's Day, but honestly, you could leave it out with the flowers, with the bejeweled flowers. I think it would be good for I mean, a baby's room or a baby shower, or, you know, even spring. Who doesn't love spring? So I love it. I love it so much. I'm probably going to leave it out for several months. So I'm struggling with getting these little flowers off. And then I realized that with these amazing scissors from Harbor Freight, this video is not sponsored by Harbor Freight, no sponsorship whatsoever, that I can just cut them apart. Like, so the little connectors where the little loops where the connectors are, I cut those off the flowers with these scissors, and it worked perfectly. So then I realized that I can just cut them apart, and it went so much faster. And then I just add these little pearl dots that you can put on your fingernails, your shoes, your whatever. They send glue with it, but they're actually pretty sticky themselves. I just filled in the voids on the bejeweled part with these little pearls because the flowers have pearls, and then some of the bling that I used had pearls in them. And I think that just finished it off. So I'm just finishing that up, and oh, she looks amazing when she gets done. I love this. I think this is my favorite project other than the free printable. So stay tuned for the free printable. This little number I got last year at the dollar store. Dollar General, I'm sorry, Dollar General. And it was $2, and it comes with that base right there. And all I'm doing is filling it in with Sharpie where I want the red color. I did use the Summer Night on the big heart, and I used baby blush on the other two hearts, so that way they would be lighter. And I don't know if you all are tired of the red trucks, but I am loving the black trucks. So I am painting this black because it's going with my colors this year. I'm using blush and black, and I love how this turns out. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh my gosh, black truck. Okay, that's boring. But guys, wait till I show you how I bring out the details. You are going to just flip. And it turns out so pretty. I love my black truck. So after I finish painting it all in, I painted the wheels red. Well, I didn't paint them, but I drew in the wheels red with the red Sharpie. I used the furniture marker for the little board that goes across the top. And now here I am adding the detail to the truck. And watch it come alive. Do you see that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a silver chalk marker from the Dollar Tree. And I've had this on hand. I've never used it. I just buy them all when I see them. So I am just going over the little grooves in the truck, and it brings it to life like magic. It is so cool. And so if I just get out of lines, or I get gray chalk where I don't want it, and I'm using my finger to kind of blend it in because I don't want there to be like harsh lines. I just want it to be like soft and like a highlight. Look at that truck. Okay, so I use the black that's left on my paintbrush to go back over and touch up any areas. And now I'm using the glitter glue from, you guessed it, Dollar Tree, to get some red glitter on there. And now we're gonna work on the base. Okay, so the base, I used moss green paint, and mine needed stirred up because it had a lot of black in it, which it doesn't matter because I'm covering it with this sheet moss. And I I love how this turns out too. I am loving all the projects today, honestly. So let me know which one is your favorite. I'm always curious to see what everybody thinks and which projects they like and which ones they like the best. So please let me know down in the comments which project you like the best. So I just cut these straight because I want the truck to set up, and I want it to look like it's parked in grass because, you know, it's springtime. We want the truck to be in grass, not snow, like what everybody mostly has now. I just love adding that little extra element to this little truck instead of just painting the base a certain color and then sticking it in there. I think this just adds a little bit more to it. It doesn't make it look so dollar store crafty, and I think it brings a higher end to it. So I love it. This is my Christmas printout that I got from Natalie Callahan. I've already linked it in my previous videos. You will also see that flea market. I will be offering that later on this spring. This is my free one that I offered, and that other I Love You was from Natalie Callahan last year. She offered it for free. If you don't get them for free if you don't download them for free on my videos, they are also offered in my Etsy store with extra ones. So you will get the free one that I offer plus another one in the purchase, and they're super cheap. So this is the one that I offered for free. Will You Be My Valentine? I just love that sign. I made all these on Canva, and I will link that one down below. And this is the one that I offer in my Etsy store, and it says Love You More. I love the little scribble heart. That is my absolute favorite. As you know, I'm going with pink and black this year for my Christmas and my Valentine's Day, and I just love this. Please give me a thumbs up if you see anything on here that has inspired you or you just love, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Now there are my little sweet books. There's two of them. There's a truck. And there's the third book with the transfer, and it went right over the ribbon with no problem. And here is my blinged out love. Now this idea was inspired by Michelle Moxie DIY in Java. And I did paint little black dowels to put in the little lovebirds, and I have them facing each other. So each little eyeball is on the opposite side. So cute. I love how this turned out. And there is my vignette. I am going to be doing my table soon, and I will show pictures on my Instagram. So if you're not following me over there, make sure you go over to Instagram and follow me over there, because that's where you will see real life, no makeup, hair's a mess, out at Goodwill. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't seen that yet, oh, how I let my sister drag me out of the house that day, I will have no idea. But I gotta remember to make myself up before I leave the house, because that was terrible. Anyway, that's real life, guys. Over on Instagram, real life. No editing. I am making like those little candy hearts that you get, you know, that have little sayings on it. Be mine, kiss me, XXO, you know, stuff like that. So that's what I'm making here. I love how this project turned out, but I also love that it was so easy to do, guys. Oh my goodness. I was so excited when Xtool reached out to me, because I have been looking at a glow forge. So anyway, this saved me thousands of dollars, and they are actually having a clearance sale right now if you are looking for a desktop laser. Now, this garland I got at Joann's, and I got it last year at Christmas time, and you know I'm a craft supply hoarder, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start using my craft supplies, because literally this garland was just hanging in my craft room, and I love those little felt balls. So I am taking them off of the string. I'm only going to use the red and the white felt balls, and I am going to make myself a garland. Now, I had already counted 12 green little felt balls, and so I know where I'm going to start putting my my wood cutouts. So I take off the red and white, I start stringing them, and then I set the green aside. And then once I get to where I'm supposed to start putting on my wood cutouts, I replace the green felt ball with the wood cutouts. Oh my goodness, I hope that made sense. Anyway, I started with the center. I found the center, and then that's why it's folded in half, so that I know where to start my wood cutouts, and they'll be center on my garland. And I just love how this turns out. It is super sweet. So I just continue to thread those through, and I actually bought these big needles at Walmart. I can't remember what they're called, but they are called a special needle. They did come in a pack of like 3 or 4, I think, and they're super long. And that's what I loved about it, because I could like just press the ball down on the needle using my table, and they went through perfectly fine. Now here I am to the last of the white little felt balls. Now I just take my needle and go back through. I don't go through the same hole, but I go right next to it. And now I am just making a knot to hold that felt ball in place. And then once I make a knot, I thread the white thread, which I never mentioned that, but I did get that white cotton thread at Dollar Tree a long time ago. They had all different colors, and I bought all different colors so I could use it in my crafting. So then I just thread that back through and pull it tight and cut it off, and we're good to go. And I also use the same little, oh, what do you call that? Little tie at the end that was on the original garland. And then I'm just spreading these out to make sure that they're, evenly spaced and not all scrunched up together, because once I cut that off, I make the string a little bit longer. I'm going to thread it back through, and then I'm going to also make a knot in this little white ball that's at the end to hold it in place. And I put the little string on that, the little loop. Oh gosh, what do you call that? I don't know. It's what you're going to use to hang it, the little hanger. And then I make my knots on the bottom side. And then I'm just going to thread that thread right back through the top and then cut it off. And then it's not going anywhere, and you're good to go. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, it turned out gorgeous. And here it is on my fireplace. So let me know what you think, guys. Do you love this craft or not? Oh my gosh, I thought it turned out super cute. Okay, on to the next DIY. Okay, so I used my laser, and I didn't show you, but I created this design to make a little envelope for love letters. And I mean, once you see it cut out once, you don't need to watch it a dozen more times. I didn't feel like you guys would want to watch that. So I just cut out all these shapes. Literally, I started with a square and a triangle to make the envelope, and then I used the triangle to cut out the top part of the envelope, if that makes sense. It's just like you would in a Cricut, where you slice it and it takes that part of whatever you're slicing out, and it worked perfectly. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you not to do is don't use hot glue, because it didn't hold, and I literally glued all this together, and then I had to take it all apart because it immediately came apart. So just use wood glue and do it right the first time. So as you can see, it was starting to come apart, and I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. So I had to peel all the hot glue off, and now here I am using my wood glue like I should have done to begin with. And I have my little clips there, and I glue it and I clip it together. And now it only takes a few minutes to set up. and get sticky. So once I get those little sides on, well, you'll see here in a minute. I get the little sides on and then I clip it all together. Now, once I got it all clipped together, I did let it dry overnight and it was solid as a rock the next day, let me tell you. And see, I realized I put that on the wrong side. So I had to, it had already stuck pretty well. But don't put too much glue on, wipe off the excess because you want a nice clean project. And then I am ready to see, now it's already set up a little bit. So it only takes a few minutes for this wood glue to set up. And then I put it all together and then I clip it once again. And then when you clip it, make sure that you clean up any glue that oozes out. And then now I'm just deciding on my little hearts, how to design them, getting that nice and straight. And I actually put my husband and my initial on this heart and the year that we were married, which he didn't even realize until I said, babe, that's the year we were married. And he was like, well, what does that say? And I was like, that's J and T. Hello, our initials. He's like, he thought it said Jet. I was wondering, who is Jet? Because the and sign is kind of weird. Anyway, I thought it was super cute. And it's actually raised up so you can actually fit a little love note in there if you wanted to, or a card or whatever. But once he realized what it was, he was like, oh, that's super cute. And there it is on my mantle. With these two little gnomes, and so there's some painting involved, but other than that, it's pretty simple. Now you can go as detailed or as simple as you want. Now these were for Christmas, and I just cut off the little skates, the little skate part, to make it look like little shoes, so I could use these for Valentine's Day. Can you believe it's already the middle of January? I mean, where has this month gone? All last year, I feel like it flew by, but here we go. So I cut off the tags and now I'm removing the little noses. I had a little bit of an issue, but once I got my spatula under there, they popped right off with no problems. I did take my sandpaper and I just sanded down the edges and the front of the gnomes just so they would be smooth and ready for paint. I actually turned one over and used the back side for the girl. So this is the boy. So I have a girl and a boy gnome because you can't do one without the other, right? So I am doing the little boy first. And I start painting on his beard. Now, do little boys have beards? No. I am doing the male first. And I just start painting on his beard. And then I paint his hat red and his outfit is red. And I start with red boots, but I do change that color. And if you know me, I don't clean my brushes. I like to mix the paint and I like how the highlights just come through naturally. And then I go around it and I just paint until I'm happy with how it looks. So I paint until it makes my heart happy. How about that? So you guys can do you just paint up these little gnomes. I mean, his beard had like an outline, so it made it pretty simple to paint him. Now staying in the lines was a little tough for me. I probably used too big of a brush, but if you used paint pens, that would be perfect and you could do a much better job staying in the lines. But I just kind of like to paint by the seat of my pants, and so I added like a little frilly little wave to the little girl gnome. So I added a little wave to her hat just naturally with the use of paint. And then I'm adding like pink and white. And I just keep adding those colors until I'm satisfied with how she looks. Now her hat is a little lighter than her outfit and her shoes. And then I go back and I make it look like she's wearing socks. And I just think she turns out so cute. And I add the highlighting later. So I'm just going to let you watch how I paint up these little babies, and I'll catch up with you here in a few minutes. So I added pink to his rim of his hat, and then I added pink to his shoes. And then I do go back in and put some more white in his shoes, or where his socks would be, so that it looks like socks. And then I'm painting just some more on his hat, just to kind of get that a little bit darker. And then I put some more highlighting on her shoes. And these were so fun to paint. I love painting. To me, it's just relaxing, and I get to be creative and just go with it. There's clearly no planning here. I then use a little bit of black and I mix it in with the white to get some highlighting in his beard to make it look like it's curly. And then I take my white marker from the Dollar Tree and I paint around the edge of his beard just to kind of get the outline cleaned up a little bit. And then I take this paint pen that I've never even opened or used. I couldn't get the cap off. And I just kind of go around and outline just to give some dimension to her hat and her little outfit and her shoes. I just liked the way it looked outlined. Now, I will tell you, I was working on some bigger projects and they just weren't coming out the way I thought they should. So I had to scrap them and kind of start over. But I will get them done, I promise, and they will be in my next video. I love how she comes out. She is so adorable. And I'm kind of partial because I just love the pink. I like how the boy gnome comes out too, but man, she's just adorable. Now I'm just taking my white and I'm drawing lines on her hat, and I'm just going to give it like a checkered look with just very faint, light white stripes. And I go horizontal and vertical. Now for his hat, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do for his hat. Now I'm just making little dots all the way around the rim of her hat. And then I kind of go in with the bigger dots in the center. And then I make one flower in the middle. I probably should have put the hash marks on his hat too, but so then I mix some white and a very little bit of pink and I paint their noses. I decided to do dash dot dot all the way around his hat. And then I thought, well, that looks a little Christmassy, but that's okay. Are you guys still into gnomes? Are you over the gnomes? Let me know what you think, because I love gnomes. I mean, you could literally make a gnome out of anything, really. If you don't know what to make a gnome. Like literally, you can make a gnome out of anything. A cup, a jar, a block of wood. I have just seen all kinds of gnomes, a teapot. Now I add this wood flower, and I got those from Dollar Tree. I also got those paper flowers. They are so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love the colors. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to add a paper color to his hat, a paper flower to his hat or not. But I decided ultimately not. And then I thought, man, she needs something more. So after I added the flowers to her, I decided I had this scrap piece of fur from some fur ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I decided I'm going to make these into little piggy tails. So I cut it down. Now, the trick to cutting fur is to cut it from the back side. And if you cut it from the back side, you don't get all the shedding that you would if you cut it from the front. So, yeah, you want to make sure you cut it from the back side. So my glue gun went dead. I needed to charge the battery. And so I'm just getting my Hippo glue gun heated up here. Now, I do trim the top from the front, and I'm just giving it a diagonal so it fits underneath the hat or right up against where the hat would be perfectly. And then I was just waiting on that to heat up. And then I actually fold those in half and glue them together. And if you see, I'm using my scissors there, so fur's going everywhere. And then I didn't get it cut straight, so then I got to do it again. Now, the trick to doing this is you want to brush the hair up and then cut. You'll see me do this on the other side. Anyway, I glue those together so you can't see the back side. And then I trim this side. So like I'm moving the hair up out of the way, and then I trim it. And then I push the hair back down, and then I trim the hair straight across. So it looks like she's got one of those straight haircuts. And fabric scissors work best. So then after I got her little piggy tails glued on, I tied little pink bows around the bottom, and then I glued them down in place. Super cute. Gosh, I cannot get over how cute she is. Now I went back and forth whether I should add something to her body. Like I was gonna put a glitter heart from Dollar Tree there, and then I thought, no, I thought that kind of cheapened the look up. So I just left her as is. I loved her just the way she was. And then for him, I'm actually gonna glue down this grapevine heart. And I just have to hold it there for a minute just till it sets up. And that is also from Dollar Tree. And then I'm just adding a hanger back so I can hang these. I haven't decided if I'm going to put up a Valentine's Day tree or not. I don't know. Are you guys doing Valentine's Day trees this year? Because I know they're really big. All right, here she is. And I also added little hearts onto their shoes. You can't really see it on her shoes because it's really light, but it's in white. And there he is. Little handsome devil. Oh, I also added little bows to their shoes. I didn't show that either. Okay, guys, the next project is a wood heart from Dollar Tree. And it's just as simple as painting it up. Now, I have my paint in these squeeze bottles that I got off of Amazon, and they are linked down in my description box, as well as these brushes. This little brush is from Walmart, but you can also get them on Amazon. It came in a pack of 2. They're plaid brushes. I am a plaid ambassador. And I also ordered this stencil off of Amazon. So this is a French writing stencil. You can't read a word of it. And I'm not even sure that it's even... The only way I can tell that it's right side up is because it has numbers in it. And that's the only way. Now, this is my Mod Podge. It is also in a squeeze bottle, but that squeeze bottle came from Dollar Tree. I'm going to try to do more Dollar Tree crafts because after organizing my craft room, I have so much Dollar Tree stuff. Now, I did not, I guess, hit record when I embellished this heart, but I went over it with some black lace from burlapfabric.com, and then I used some solo wood flowers, and I used some Dollar Tree ribbon and pearls from my stash. And guys, if you're returning, I want to thank you so much for supporting my channel and stopping by to see me each week. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you helping out my channel and showing me some love. And guys, here it is. I have a free printable. This is also available in my Etsy store, but I will link the free printable for you down in my description box. And I hope you like it. It is 11 by 17, and I normally get them printed at Walgreens or Office Max. So here is the final reveal. I love how this heart turned out. I am a Shabby Chic girl. Oh my goodness. I love it. There is nothing better than pink and black. Oh, I love it. And there's just a little touch of pink in the ribbon and then the black lace. Oh, gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So tell me what you guys think. Are you loving the heart? Or are you loving the gnomes? Or are you loving both? So I'm trying to add as much detail without it looking gaudy or going overboard. A little highlighting on her nose. Those beautiful paper roses from Dollar Tree. The piggy tails are so cute. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your week. And I will see you in the next one.